Once upon a time, like till very recently, the teacher's role was defined in kind of very positive terms, that the teachers got to teach children how to read, write, also embed whatever he or she is teaching in values, and prepare the child for a good life in the future, and be a good human being, broadly speaking, without too many other definitions. But teachers teach in schools, and schools have undergone a change. Schools are places where large numbers of people gather. There have been changes which are happening in the world, and I think it's a time when we have become conscious of the fact that a large amount of information transfer, large amount of knowledge happens outside the school. It's not just within the school. And with the move, with the end of the 20th century, transition into the 21st century, a very big shift has happened. There's an inversion of realities which has taken place. One teacher used to teach a large number of children. Now, tremendous number of resources are available to the individual. The individual has come of age, and the individual has become very significant. But simultaneously, the individual has also become a number. He's a consumer. The consumer, for consumer-driven society, the marketplace is shaping the values, is shaping the choices, is shaping the attitudes, is shaping literally the life of every human being today. And young children are the ones who are most impacted by this today. The marketeers have understood that 65% of purchase decisions are made by children for the family. So they target the children. And with subliminal messages, they are being influenced very deeply. So the teacher now is in crisis. I teach mathematics, I teach some history, I teach tolerance, I teach respect, I teach standing in queue, I teach values which seem to be abandoned in the world, and they are not even considered significant. The models of success, the models of achievement, the models of relationship, of clothes, these are so strongly being driven by society and the mechanisms of the marketplace that it's almost as if whatever the school doesn't have a very significant role. So the school is an important social institution. It has to occupy children. It has to keep them there for the day and provide the certification that is needed, and teachers have to be caregivers. Today we have moved away from kind of beating children or punishing them, etc. But is there anything significant at all in this role, in this tremendous high, in the juggernaut of society where values of decency are being abandoned, values of equality are abandoned, values of care for the earth are abandoned, and success and the fleeting movements which kind of breed anxiety in human beings, breed fear in human beings. This is what's happening. Further, the expectations of the teacher have gone up, saying you have to teach these subjects well, you have to educate the child well, but at the same time, the society today is such that we know there's tremendous amount of child sexual abuse. How do we protect children from a predatory, from the predatory forces in society? Isn't that one of the expressions of care for a child? How do we help a child to think carefully and become aware of the influences that are coming from the marketplace? The teacher's role is to help the child think and be discerning, where you have different views being expressed, different views being spoken, and to listen to these views with respect without getting brainwashed, without getting swallowed up in other people's views. But this precisely is the challenge. The messages are so strong and the opportunities for a teacher rather limited. And further, If we move away from the definitions of success which society values so much, then we have a very serious crisis. The teacher has to function in a dimension where he has to function with deep conviction, clarity, passion, and affection. And yet at the same time, be willing to work in a place where working together matters, where decency matters, and there is no guarantee of success. Certainly not success in the marketplace driven society. How will you measure whether your student has been leading a decent life? I mean, there is no measure for that. If somebody becomes the vice president of a company, you have a way of saying, yeah, I have a successful alumnus. But somebody who's doing farming, somebody who's pursuing art, somebody who's just a good human being, there are no ways of measuring this. And this is the soil where the teacher has to work. So this zone, to even stand in this zone and to celebrate the opportunity to work with the young and to have a hand in their unfolding future, knowing the forces that are at work, the very big predatory forces, and those that are only interested in converting this individual into a market number, that requires enormous courage. It requires enormous courage also to be able to work in a place and say, I don't know what will turn out as a result of this, but I am going to make this offering to the next generation. I am a bearer of hope. I am the seed bearers of hope for the next generation. This is not a place for the feeble-hearted and feeble-minded. This is only for the bravest of the brave.